skip it. See it or skip it. See it or skip it.
Welcome to this week's See It or Skip It, where we're going to be talking about The Accountant. Andor Season 2 is out. The Accountant 2 is out. We're going to talk about both of them.
Lots of twos.
Yeah, lots of twos. And I am joined here, of course, with Richard Bonaducci and a very special guest, Adam McDonald from Big Movie Mouth Off. How's it going, Adam?
Good, thank you. Thanks for having me on. And I think this might be my television debut. So
you almost can't tell the difference between us.
He stole my kit.
We're dressed.
Yeah.
You blew your house in a blue little window and a blue Corvette, and everything was blue for you.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, I'm excited to talk about these. I think we should start up the top with maybe the newest baby Grogu spinoff that we could see from A24. This is The Legend of Ochi. It came out, I believe, last week in limited release. It's now in theaters in Utah. This is A24's take on a sci-fi fantasy for kids. We have our lead character who has found this little creature that to the world has been deemed as like a very violent thing that you have to eradicate. Willem Dafoe is the leader of this group of young children that are going out and taking these things out. But Adam, you had a chance to watch this with us. What did you think about it?
It was really interesting because I'm a huge A24 fan. I mean, I'm a member of their little secret club. I've got shirts at home, everything else. So total A24 stan. I liked it. It was fun. It was almost like, did you ever want to know if Wes Anderson was going to make an A24 kids movie?
It felt very Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
Very Wes Anderson, but also very much like going back to like Amblin and E.T. and kind of what we've seen, you know, the classics a lot of us grew up on. So it was kind of fun to see that. It was weird though. It was, I think that's kind of a word that really sums it up. I mean, you know, Wes Anderson's always kind of kooky and weird. Had a bit of, if you saw Poor Things, like Yorgos Lanthimos. So it was a little bit off-putting in a way, especially with the way the little creatures looked, but I think it was fun overall.
A24 knows how to tug at the heartstrings with off-putting characters and really interesting stories. A24, and no matter if it ends up being a good movie or a bad movie, I'm always interested because it's unique and they're doing something special with it. Is that what happened with you with this?
No.
No. Oh, no.
For me, this is going to be a skip it.
Okay.
It's hard to hate on something so, like, harmless. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. But like you, I was watching going, I don't even really know when this is. I don't know where we are. I don't get how there's all this modern stuff going on. People have phones and CD players and all this and whatnot, but they speak so almost like medieval in a way, and they don't have any understanding of the outside world, and people all around the town are just giving up their kids to this guy for the rest of their lives. I'm going, what is going on here?
You have to accept a lot from the premise of this.
And then it seemed like a bit of almost an odd take on Gremlins a little. These little, and no offense, I knew where it was going. I knew everything was going to be okay. Not to spoil it, but everything's okay.
Well, it's a kids movie,
It's a kids movie.
And that's the thing, Richard. You're always so.
Knew how.
But Richard, you're always so tough on these kids movies with Minecraft. That's our new. We have to mention Minecraft every episode.
Oh wait, are we going to go off on Minecraft? Because I will have a blast.
No, we can't do that. I'm going to put in a cat hang in there sign if we do that.
Yeah.
But with kids movies, I think there's a lot to say about. I don't know if this is necessarily geared towards me. And in that case, how do you adjust the review? But the main question I was thinking is, how do you measure technical aspects versus story? And can a technical aspect like practical puppetry and things like that overpower maybe a weaker story?
I think effects can be fun if you have a good story. Like we're talking about Star Wars stuff later. Phantom Menace to me is always special effects in search of a script. Like amazing effects for the time, story's awful, in my opinion. And the effects in this were great, in fact, and except for that one part. And
well, there's matte paintings in it. There's like they actually painted their backgrounds and the puppetry with this Ochi character.
They had like 7 puppeteers. And I think it's interesting you brought up like the technical aspect versus like the enjoyable aspect because
the story aspect, because they can all be enjoyable, but
well, I think a lot of times, you know, our job is to tell people is a movie good or not. Should you go spend your hard-earned money to go see this? Right. But also we're looking more at the technical aspect because the fact that 7 puppeteers made this creature come alive instead of using CG probably is more interesting to us than most people just take. Do I take the kids to see this? So I think it's a mixture of both because you're going to see people who love that kind of stuff, the cinephiles, and then I think the vast majority of people are like, do I spend $100 to go see this with my wife and or husband and 2 kids.
Yeah, I think for me the practicality.
That's how much we think movies cost now because we see them for free.
That's the other thing we need to put into account. Yeah,
I have lots of friends.
A lot of films we do go into though, and we have to pay full price, especially lately. But
especially with kids and food and all that stuff. So again, do you want to take your kids to see Ochi?
I think it's great for an age range that maybe isn't to like the Minecraft film where like we want to show up with chickens and stuff, but maybe the younger audience, I'm thinking maybe up to 5th grade or something like that could get a lot of enjoyment out of this. Because at the end of the day, it's E.T. Like this is an E.T. story, and that is timeless. And anytime that story comes in, there's always a group of kids that really relate to it. And I can see people buying like 5 of these Ochi dolls. I bet that's what they're planning on doing on the A24 store.
Oh, they're already selling them.
You'll have to tell them. Yep, exactly. So for me, I think it's a see it. I think it's a creative's vision, and I like that it premiered at Sundance. I'm happy that Sundance gets to go one more year at least. But what is it for you? A see it or skip it?
I think overall I'm going to say it's a see it. I'm not going to say it's a run out immediately and see it because I think the story's just weird enough that maybe kids aren't going to be as involved, and also a little bit too kid-based to where maybe the parents won't be there. But in the long run, I really enjoyed it. We talked afterwards about some of the throwbacks to even like the sound, the score with the Ewoks. You brought that up, so thank you.
Very John Williams.
That. Yeah.
There's a lot of that.
So overall, I think it's a win for A24. I'm just not 100% sure who exactly it's for, but I'd still say see it. It's a really well-made movie. It is enjoyable, but it's not like, hey, hop in the car tomorrow and just run out and see it. Well, I mean, it'll probably only be there for a week.
Limited time.
Limited time, but yeah, I think it's worth it.
Well, if you get a chance.
I'd say skip it and watch E.T.
Ooh, oh,
Do you want
Richard.
The walkie-talkie edition, or which one we talking about?
E-walkie-talkie edition?
The Keys edition, not the gun edition.
You guys let us know if you've seen Ochi. And speaking of the practical effects, I had a chance to talk with the cast about Ochi, with Finn Wolfhard, with Helena Ziegel, Emily Watson, and find out more about what that was like working with the puppet, and maybe the backstory behind this and how it was even greenlit by A24. Let's take a look.
Hey, hi, nice to meet you.
Hey, it's so great to meet both of you. Finn, both of you were at Sundance, right?
We were, yeah. We were just talking. We heard
We
Salt Lake
just said
City.
it.
Oh, very cool. I got to ask, what was the experience like? Now it's been a few months after.
It was so cool. I've never been to that festival before. Had you ever? No.
I've never been.
It was pretty wild experience. It was very cool.
I was thinking that people would still like wear high heels, even though in the email it said not to. But when we arrived and we were like going up, to the cinema or wherever, we were walking through snow like this up the mountain in like high shoes, and I was like, what am I doing here? Like, I need to go and get my snow boots,
Yeah,
That was.
I didn't pack correctly at all.
No, me neither. Me neither.
It's no joke, man. We'll give you no snow or 10 feet. There's no in between.
Exactly.
I had such a good time watching Ochi, and I think both of you have such an interesting connection in this film, especially with Willem Dafoe's character. Can you talk a little bit about both of your characters' relationships and what it was like filming with Willem?
Well, I think that Yuri in general is a very complex character with a lot of emotion and a lot of different bonds, like in her family, like to her brother, but then also to Willem's character and her mom. So I feel like every single character development, meaning like throughout the movie, was very different, like with every single person. But then with Willem or Maxime, I feel like she just really had this very weird bond of wanting to love him as a dad or wanting to have a dad, but at the same time being really pushed away. There's like this scene where she's sitting next to the pigeon and he's like, I never got to have a son. And I feel like she really feels that. She doesn't feel accepted. And so she really wishes to, for example, meet her mom. So I think they have a very complicated relationship and until the very end, not very intimate and don't really know each other probably. I feel like she's kind of like growing up like next to the Cossack boys and not really being seen as, who she is.
I think with my character and Willem's character, like there's sort of like my character sort of has a internal conflict where he's trying to be this kind of more traditional, like what Willem's character thinks is like kind of like his version of what a man should be and is. And then he's also on the other side, like just a kid who just is curious about things. So it was interesting trying to strike that balance, and And Willem was an amazing scene partner, so he made it easy.
I just got to see this yesterday, and I am already in love with Ochi. I want 5 of them. I want to give them to my nieces and nephews later during Christmas. This is right up their alley. But I wanted to ask you first. Tell us a little bit about the story, and Emily, tell us about your character.
Well, it's an incredible story about the courage and bravery of a child who ventures into what is supposed to be a terrifying animal world. It's a love letter to nature, but my character is a kind of smelly and eccentric and a crazy woman who lives up in the mountains. Yeah, no, it was tremendous fun to be part of.
Isaiah, you actually, I saw an interview with you talking with Finn Wolfhard, and there's a pitch video that was sent to him. Was this sent to the entire cast? And if so, is that a normal thing that usually happens when you're pitching movies? Is it just a concept at the beginning, or were you able to build something?
Yeah, the video itself was like a byproduct of COVID. So I had been, developing this pitch I would give in a room, mostly to financiers, production companies, studios, and it was full of my concept art that I've been making and location scout footage that I'd shot in Romania and all of the creature tests that John Nolan Studios had been doing, prototypes of the puppetry. It had to be a kind of like undeniable package just to get, ultimately A24 to do it. And then when COVID hit, that presentation just turned into a video, and that was then send that to Willem, Emily, Finn, and Helena, and they all say yes in like 2 days, and we've cast the film, just from them reading the script and seeing that video. And
my kids said yes. My kids watched it. You have to do this movie, Mum. Isaiah pitched it to me as a sort of Jane Goodall type character.
Jane Goodall meets Obi-Wan Kenobi was the shorthand to like get people to understand the tone of that character.
Helena, what was it like working with a practical puppet? In fact, what were like the surprises, and what were the more challenging parts for it?
Well, surprising definitely was that it was practical. I think it's a beautiful thing about Isaiah's work is that he really wanted it to be practical puppets, and he partly like painted the background, painted the island, and really like got into the work like very detailed. The Ochi looked like a real thing. I didn't feel like I was shooting with something that wasn't alive. It would react to me, it had these 6th grade puppeteers that would make it move around. I feel like it made it very easy for me, honestly, to have a practical puppet, and just fun, it was a very like close work, a lot of ideas, a lot of trying around, a lot of different versions of the scenes, and yeah, I loved it. It was very cool because, he couldn't complain. I could do whatever, and he just would stand there and look at me and like do nothing.
This wasn't the first time you submitted to Sundance, and one could say that it might have been something that could be seen like this is a bad beat. This is a stretch where I'm gonna have to come back and be motivated to continue doing more. What motivated you to come back and resubmit?
Yeah, when I was in college, I made a thesis film, shot on 35. I was really proud of it, submitted it to Sundance, didn't get in. That just kind of changed the trajectory of my career because I was, all I wanted to do was be Paul Thomas Anderson at the time, so my narrative film didn't go to Sundance like he did when I was 20, so it's not working. I then, was seeing these DVDs that were put out, the collected works of Michelle Gondry and Spike Jonze and Chris Cunningham, and they showed me another path, which was to make music videos and to just really develop my visual skills, knowing that I could get into features through that other angle because they had just shown how to do it with being John Malkovich. And fast forward 15 years, and that's what I did.
I love just hearing the story about just rising up and being able to make it work, and this film is fantastic. I love the fantasy elements, practical effects. The score is incredible. So thank you for your time. I really appreciate getting to speak with both of you.
Thank you so much.
Welcome back. Let's talk about The Accountant. Ben Affleck is back.
Ben Affleck?
Ben Affleck. Dos. Yeah, I'm going to keep starting with The Accountant because here's the spoiler. I've not seen either of these films. It was one of those that went under the radar the year it came out. I didn't get a chance to see it, but you had a chance to see The Accountant too. You're the only one of this at this area that's not
neither
seen.
one of you saw. Oh, that's right.
No,
okay.
I had to work till midnight last night.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Not everyone doesn't have a job.
We're just lazy critics that are full employees of other companies too.
Darn those other companies that keep food on the table.
Oh man.
But,
Well, you tell us. What does this account for its existence?
I think that it does, especially on the strength of the buddy, I was going to say buddy cop, but they're not, between Affleck, are you calling him, and Bernthal. Or are we calling him Bernthal?
So tell us the premise of this. Who is Ben Affleck?
So here's the thing. I actually think you should probably see The Accountant if you're going to go see The Accountant 2, because they pull a lot from it, actually. It isn't one of these things where, oh, you can just start here and go from here. There are a lot of characters. There's some through lines, so I think you should check it out. Ben Affleck has ASS, which is acquired savant syndrome, which is a thing. I looked it up. It's kind of a thing. People aren't even sure if it's a real thing, but if you have some kind of traumatic injury, even a stroke or something like that, you can come out of that with a brand new skill. Like it has done something to your brain, rewired it, that you now can learn languages like that, or whatever it is. He is this savant guy in a lot of different ways, and an accountant for the mob. That's the first one. So he's keeping track of all this money, and they just think he's this mild-mannered accountant, and no, he knows everything. And also he can learn pretty much anything that he wants to. So he learns how to shoot and beat people up really well.
And this is directed by Gavin O'Connor, and he returns for this sequel.
Yeah.
Also is joining in John Bernthal.
Right. Now, John Bernthal's new. He's not the first one, not even really mentioned. Anna Kendrick's not here. She was in the first one. But some other supporting characters are. And now he's got a brother. They had a guy. Yeah.
John Bernthal's
Obviously,
your,
like,
John Bernthal's your brother.
Yeah, like twins, like, the classic movie with Schwarzenegger and DeVito.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
Tale of
How
old
we
time.
almost look right now.
I'm the handsome one, so.
Yeah, I'm the one with the cool shoes. But Bernthal does not have his skills. Like, he doesn't have ASS. He's the one he's the normal one, if you can think Bernthal in that way.
Yeah.
'Cause he's normally like a real bad guy. Their chemistry is great. The rest of it kind of devolves into a typical one-man army, well, now two-man army, shoot 'em up. That's a bummer in a way, because it had a lot of interesting things leading into that third act where it just went normal action flick. But here's the weird part about it. Their chemistry is fun, but the rest of the movie's a downer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's about like child trafficking and stuff.
Oh, so
And how
light material.
Yeah, I mean, the plot itself
So
is...
take your kids to this after Ochi is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Okay. Gotcha.
No, the plot itself is rough. There's some stuff going down there, especially where it ends up going, which is a bit of a swing between them and their little, we're in a bar drinking together, trying to hit on women, and he doesn't know how, to that.
Does the sequel feel justified?
Yes, but I think only because they brought Bernthal in. Without him, it would have been, this is The Accountant again, not Accountant 2.
That's one of the things I think about a lot because, I remember seeing The Accountant forever ago. Couldn't tell you what I thought about it aside from, it was there. And that's kind of like almost a worse thing for a movie to have than it was great or it was horrible. It was like, it was there. And when I heard about this, it almost felt like a case of because nobody demanded it.
I think it's a case of they can't come up with anything new. So they went, well, let's do a sequel to one we've already done, at least to have some name recognition.
Yeah.
Interesting. So is this a see it or is it a skip it?
I would see it. I think it's a B. I think it's a solid movie. It's fun. It's just, it ends up being a typical thing, which I think is a bit of a bummer. And they do leave it open. It's not sequel bait, but they leave it open so that if this does well, they're probably going to bring them both back. And maybe a hidden sister for Accountant 3. I don't know.
Oh, man. Maggie Gyllenhaal shows up.
Right. Anna Kendrick comes back.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, make sure that this is for the fans, not really. Make sure you see the first film first before you go into this.
Yeah, you need to know what's
But
going
Richard
on.
gives it a see it. Very cool. Well, let us know what you think about The Accountant 2. And let's talk about this Netflix film that's out right now, Havoc. So this is Gareth Evans, and I hope you guys have seen The Raid or The Raid Part 2. Those two are some of the best fighting films, films ever made. And this director is now teaming up with Tom Hardy and Netflix to bring this shoot 'em out thing. What's the story? I can't even tell you. I've watched this movie. I'm so confused by it. What I do know is there's lots of gunfire, there's a bit of fighting, and there's Tom Hardy yelling around and doing his normal Tom Hardy thing that I think might be critic proof. I think people that are excited for this, doesn't matter what we end up saying about it, it's going to be something for them. However, I don't think it was for me.
Yeah. Well, I will say with The Raid, that was one of the only movies I ever gave a standing ovation to at Sundance. So I'm a big Raid fan, and then of course Dread, which everyone said ripped off that, but
yep. Well, same basic concept. You're stuck in a building, but they do that for a lot of things nowadays. Richard, you saw this. What were your thoughts after you finished the gunfire, and did you need to go get some hearing aids after?
Yeah, we talked about this before you got here a little bit. I think it was very aptly named. Havoc is, oh my gosh, it is rapid fire all the time. There's an opening sequence with a car chase that I'll admit had me riveted. You should check it out. But I also was watching it going, I'm not sure if this is digital or if it's AI or like they try some new things that really do suck you in. But at the same time, it does look just different enough that you're going,
well, it's not necessarily even like a steady shot for it. It's how the camera moves in the shot. You can tell it just physically could not happen.
It feels like you're in it. It really, at least
it kind of bends physics in a way that takes you out of it.
Stuff. And when they do that with gunfire, nightclub scenes, et cetera, it is very hard hitting. But the plot is dense as can be. I'm like, I'm not even sure what is going on here. Great to see Josh Duhamel and all that. But
Timothy Olyphant's in this as well.
I'm sorry.
He's great.
I get those guys mixed up.
No, and we love him. He's amazing in everything. So.
Yeah, I like him too. But apparently I get him mixed up. But in the end, I went,
well, here's my issue with it.
It's just exhausting.
I'm going into this. I know who the director is, so I'm expecting nonstop fighting. The breakneck pace was going to happen either way. I didn't really care about the story going in because I'm here for the fights. Few and far between for me. There's one nightclub scene that's great. Like, if this is going to be one of those where you're going to go on YouTube and you're going to look up a specific part of it and probably skip the rest of the movie. But that part is really, really well done. So I enjoyed it, but the rest is just non-stop sound effects. We watched Warfare together about a month ago.
A lot more than you. So.
Well, I respect the sound design in that more than I do with this because I feel like they're covering this to make up for no story, as opposed to Warfare. That was the story.
Right.
Like it was all tied into it. But this feels like, I don't know, gun fu, but without the fu.
There was a lot of like car chase stuff and gunplay. Not a whole lot of hand-to-hand stuff. Some knives here and there, but it was, and it goes on for a long time.
Yes.
That's like 10-minute sequences of just, and again, it's impressive, but it's also, wow, these guys are either really good shots or awful shots when they need to be. And the squid budget alone is probably astronomical, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, but if you're into that, if you're into like, gunplay and action, it's there.
It's by no means is it a bad film. I just think it has a lot more of stuff that I wasn't prepared for. And maybe that's on me. A lot of times we go in these hoping we don't have biases, but if we're really excited about a creative, maybe we're hoping for what they did to translate over. But this is a guy doing a new story, a whole different thing. But if you're just at home, you want to throw something on, not pay attention too much, it's a pretty fun movie to watch. It's pretty action heavy.
You can walk away, like get something to eat, and just listen to and know what's happening. Sit down, and it'll look like you didn't miss a thing.
Yes, you'll be right where you were. For me, I think it's probably a see it, but you're going to forget it immediately.
And it's not in theaters, right? It's
no, just on Netflix.
One of those things, you could probably watch it at home. But I think as long as you are just looking for that kind of thing, then it's that thing.
Yep.
And
so
it's not a whole lot more.
Yeah, it didn't wreak too much havoc. But we'll see what happens this weekend. They never tell us the numbers for streaming. I hope it does well. I want Tom Hardy and more things like this. But let us know what you think down below. And finally, let's wrap all this up with Andor Season 2. Now, I'm the only one that's seen these ones. Have you seen the first season? A couple episodes at least?
I tapped out of Star Wars years ago.
Oh, no.
This is the thing. Like, my first time up here, I'm just the one sitting here looking pretty the whole time. I'm like,
But you've
what am
seen
I
Rogue
doing?
One, so you know a little bit with
Of course,
this.
Rogue One's one of my top 5 Star Wars movies of all time.
I've seen Rogue One. I liked
The
Rogue
central
One.
character in this is Cassian Andor from Rogue One. This is following years before the events of Rogue One and Episode 4, where we're discovering the rebellion at its grassroots, how they're trying to build up from it. We have Stellan Skarsgård as this character that's in between, kind of as like a spy that's pretending to be with the Senate and seeing what's going on, keeping his ear to the ground, but also leading this very covert, very underground rebellion where nobody really gets out of it alive, and they have to accept that fate before they even get into it. I found season 2 to be one of the darkest Star Wars stories that we've ever seen.
Maybe I'll watch it.
Maybe one of the best written Star Wars we've ever seen. This is the rebellion in its rawest, most real form. The first 3 episodes of Andor season 2 are available now, and each week I believe they're releasing them by every 3 episodes. I will tell you, there's a time jump with each one. It makes sense narratively. But this being done by creator Tony Gilroy, he is just a master storyteller. And the things that they have in this, I don't want to spoil too much, but it's worth considering as being some of the best Star Wars we've ever seen. I hope people check it out, and I'm losing my voice as I'm trying to talk about it.
You're so excited
someone
to get into it.
take the mic from me.
Well, I guess that was something I was interested in, because I tried to get into Andor when it first came out, and maybe I was just watching too much stuff at the same time, but it was on the back burner. And, you know, for me, it does play out as like a prequel. We know how the story ends. So coming from you, it sounds like that with a good prequel, it's all about the journey.
And
How
I do have
we
to
get
ask,
there?
do we know how the story ends?
Well,
I've seen the whole thing. Do we? Maybe.
Well, it's just like in a
Maybe
comic
not.
book, you didn't see the body, so you know.
Well, because it was disintegrated.
But
What was left? Yeah, it was atoms at that point. But
Yep.
I like the fact that we're getting this excitement out of you, because it's just been for my Star Wars, I love lightsabers, I want the Jedi, all that kind of fun stuff. So for me, that wasn't really my cup of tea, but hearing this now makes me like, hey, maybe I'll go back and get into it, because I mean, you've had Rebecca Frost on the show, and that's like her favorite Star Wars from what I can gather from her. So you're winning me over.
No lightsabers required for this too. No lightsaber scene. It's all really well.
Bother?
Because it's great.
He's doing a Jedi
Good
mind
sir.
trick on us right now.
You
guys
two
watch it.
will enjoy Andor season 2. You all will enjoy Andor season 2.
Wait, that only works on like weak-minded people. So are you like saying we're weak-minded right now?
If you've liked Minecraft, you will. I'm just kidding.
Okay, so we're not gonna like it.
Oh man. So again, make sure that you check that out. The first 3 episodes are available now. All of season 1 is available now on Disney Plus. Give it a watch. It has some of the best moments in Star Wars. And with that being said, we're going to wrap up this Eat or Skip It by thanking both of you for being on the show. Adam, tell people where they can find you.
Yeah, so you can find me over at Big Movie Mouth Off. We're on like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, and yeah, we kind of revitalized it, and we're going strong. So
Thank you so much for coming on, man.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you for having me.
Richard, where can the people find you?
Friday mornings are Rock 106.7 with Hooker and DB in the morning, with you on occasion on Fridays, and various bars in Salt Lake City.
Drumming,
You never
of
invite-
course.
Saturday nights.
So you never invite me to these bars.
I just fine.
Oh, man.
I will.
And of course, go to abc4.com, click the shows tab, and see it or skip it to get all of the episodes and interviews that we're working on. Believe next week is Thunderbolts.
Yes.
We've got some Marvel talk that we got to have. I'm so excited for that. So stay tuned. And until then, we will see you at the next review.
See it or skip it. 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 See it or skip it.